A little hello there. You can wave at us. You can say something that you feel touched you. And I mean, yeah, we are here to inspire young people, not just young people, but everybody else. And that's why we here this morning. Bronwyn Newman, she's the chairman of RAYL. And with limited services provided by public institutions and the private sector being too expensive, Rescue a Young Life, RAYL NPO, was initiated in 2016. They equip and empower youth to assist them in managing behavior, adolescence, awareness developments through programs that build resilience and develop coping skills. They work closely with Sadach, who has also supplied them with information brochures and to assist with the programs in primary schools, high schools, universities, and support groups. They offer face-to-face counseling as well for the youth and adults. They offer a service like holistic programs such for depression and anxiety, anger management, abuse, teen sexuality, and so much more. I mean, that is just tip of the iceberg, hey? What you guys are doing, Bronwyn. I quickly just want to make sure that our music doesn't play while we're talking. But yeah, you can tell us a little bit about maybe how was it birthed?
How was it birthed?
Yeah,
That is the core start, the
is it?
seed.
Is
Yeah.
that's the big one, huh?
And I always tend to say that, from darkness, there's always light to be found.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what I experienced birthing Rescue a Young Life.
Yeah.
In 2013, we actually lost our son to suicide. I mean, this is a 14-year-old academic student, got a scholarship for a private school, and he had extramural. He played for Batswood Baseball Club. He had his sports in line. He had all the core values, church, youth, everything. We made sure that we surrounded him with everything that he needed, the tools as parents. But unfortunately, he felt lost and he felt alone. And it was just a moment in time where he did not feel that he was enough for this world, enough for us as parents, enough as an individual, as a friend. And that is where he lost all hope,
Sure.
and it's just unfortunate circumstances that he wasn't at home at the time when he died. He was at his biological mother's house, his grandma's house. And his grandfather was a hunter. He used to go up to Namibia quite a bit in that.
Yes.
And I wasn't aware that these weapons weren't handed in, all of that things. And unfortunately, he had access to that. And his last words to me on the phone was, "Mom, I feel depressed." And personally, as a parent, we weren't raised with the word depression. It didn't really exist in
Yeah.
our world,
Yeah.
because everything had to just go into prayer.
Yeah.
You just had to deal, just had to process, and we just had to move on. So that word alone, I think, shook me to the core, and I was really shocked with that. And I think at the moment as a parent, I went blank, and I was like, depressed, but why? Why are you depressed? Like,
Yeah.
everything should be going great. I mean, we had a fantastic weekend as a family. And he just said, "No, it's fine. I'm only joking, it's fine." Because I said to him, "I'm going to come and fetch him at that moment." And he said, "No, it's fine. Everything's fine. He's just joking, But he sent messages to his sister and to his stepdad that he was very close to, that he loves them and he's sorry and he'll see them in heaven. Yeah. Yes, so on our way through, he took his grandfather's handgun and literally
Literally shot himself.
shot himself, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. No, it was, I think it was one of the horrific experiences in my life.
Yeah.
It's not really something that anybody is prepared for,
No.
And I think with that, I really shut down spiritually. I was broken. I was angry at God.
Yeah.
And yes, now I fought with him for about 2 years. I fought with God.
Sure.
And I'm
Just
talking about
working it through.
screaming at him and like really asking him why. I've done everything, you know,
Yeah.
I've done everything that is expected of me as a parent. And it really broke me to the core where I was just shut off from the world, shut off from everything, all the morals, all your belief, all your faith and hope and future. You know, that whole canvas, that colorful canvas just went blank. Yeah.
I'm wondering what. Sure. Uh, I'm at a loss for words for the experience
Yeah.
that you went through, and I'm trying to think of what. I mean, I had my fair share of trauma as well. What was the thing that brought you up again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's gonna get me a bit emotional.
Okay.
But I was walking through the house one day. And I mean, I've gone through therapy, I've gone through counseling, I've gone through everything that I need to do, that my family has encouraged me to do. Um, and I was just walking through the house and I was saying his name, RAYL, RAYL. And I was just like randomly saying his name. And then it just came to light and God just said, rescue a young life. And I'm telling you, that was the point of
That's your
purpose.
son's name? That's
RAYL.
Rail.
RAYL, yeah.
Oh,
And that was the first message that I received was, I know that you've lost your purpose, my child, but you need to do more. And your son was the vessel that had to awaken your purpose in life, because ultimately he belonged to me
yeah.
and he was loaned to you. You know,
Yes.
so that whole, and I just broke, and I prayed so hard for forgiveness, for the anger, because all of that just faded away.
Yeah.
All that resentment that I felt and the pain that I felt fell away. You know, at that moment when God really spoke to me, and just to have that intervention, that moment that I shared with God, changed my life, changed my train of thought, changed how I saw the world. Really,
Sure.
I saw everything different, and every child that I saw my son growing, learning, needing, wanting that love, that affection, that nurturing, you know, and also the pain and the loss that each child is feeling silently.
Yeah.
And that is what has opened my eyes and my heart and my purpose, that I'm currently working so hard to keep going.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And I mean, you've done well so far. Must congratulate you on that, because I mean, it's you are working with adolescents, with young people
Yes.
currently, where you try and you basically work on all these issues and signs
Yes.
and symptoms of these
Yes.
things. And maybe I want to touch on that as well,
Yeah.
for some young people, or some adults who are maybe dealing with young
Yeah.
people who's dealing with the same kind of issues, or weaknesses or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got a teenager myself, and you think of the things that they don't say,
Yeah.
that parents are not always aware of.
Yes.
And it's so important for us parents to be there and to
Yeah.
tune in and to tap in and to check, because they might be suffering from something that we don't know about.
Yes.
And it's not to blame yourself, but just to be
They're
there.
exposed to so
Yeah.
much, you know,
Yes,
a
yes,
lot
yes.
more than what we were growing up.
Mm.
That's what I can see from today.
Yeah.
They're exposed to their home environment
Yeah.
where they feel safe,
Yeah.
and then they're exposed to the outside world around
Yeah.
friendship,
Yeah.
social environment,
Yeah.
and wanting to be part of, needing to be part of. And then there's the learning environment that's so conformed
Yeah.
that they need to know all,
Yes.
you know, and
Yes.
it's a lot for a young mind to comprehend without having basic structures where they can express themselves.
Yeah. It's pressure, eh?
Yeah, it's a lot of
Tremendous
pressure.
pressure on them.
And
Yeah.
social media also plays a huge impact. So I do with the kids teach them about cyberbullying. I do teach them about what social media is there for and what it should not be.
Right.
or because
Right.
everything is so exposed on there, and especially with the violence that is so readily available for children to watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's not healthy.
So, yeah. Yeah.
But because everybody's involved in it, everybody's commenting
Yeah.
on it, you know, they will be part of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that they feel good about it.
Yeah.
And that is where it starts, you know,
But by
that's where it
bit.
starts affecting them.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Yes.
So there's a lot of things, and it's little things, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to imprint the mustard seed
Yeah.
in young minds. That even though they are exposed to certain things, they don't need to be part of it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
They can be their own individual person. They don't have to be in a clique. They don't have
Yes.
to be in a crowd.
Yeah. You feel that is key?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, 100%.
They need to make to be aware of the authenticity.
Yes.
That
Individuality.
individuality.
You know,
yes.
where they belong, who they are as an
Yeah.
individual, and not who someone says that they must be or
Yeah.
what they need to do and how they need to
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
I just threw my whole list of questions out the door. I'm just following the spirit now. I'm trying to think of. Do you feel how do we strengthen that feeling of with young people, that feeling of authenticity? I mean, like you say, it's social media is like, you know, create all this pressure and things that are not always true, and it's like you said, it's not very impactful or positively in their lives. Yeah, how do you as a parent strengthen?
So I do with my programs that I run with the children at the school. It's more like music. So it's a different genre of music.
Yeah.
So they're all on one theme of music,
Yeah.
but then I try to bring in a different form of music, and then I explain to them, can you feel the difference? Can you see the difference? Can you understand the difference in what
Wow.
you are hearing,
Yeah.
what you are feeling,
Yeah.
and what is actually happening? You know, and I show them like music videos,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
so that they can see
Yes.
what they hear.
Yeah.
Because there is so much music out there that is like rather
Yes.
disturbing, and they
Yeah.
nag me to play what's trending,
Yeah.
and I explain to them, but that is not music.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't give you anything.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do play them the music that I have on my playlist, it's more diverse, and playing the music videos with it. And it's artists from South Africa. I love using local artists.
Local artists as well. Wow.
And then I always say to them, listen to what the story is behind that rap.
Yes.
You know, understand what he's experiencing, what he's trying to deliver. And it opens up the mind to, oh, you're actually like really getting us to understand what we are hearing. You know, there has to be meaning and depth in everything that they experience in life.
Right.
I believe that they need to connect with everything, but on a positive note, definitely. And even with art, with
Yeah.
them doing arts and crafts that I do with them,
Yeah.
just to give them that space to create things.
Yes.
And some might look beautiful, some might not, but I praise the ones that don't look so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that I praise, because that is what they have given.
Yes.
And the ones that are beautiful, I praise that as well, evenly, you know? And
Sure.
it's just giving them that space where they can speak freely and know that they are heard. I think that's the most important thing for me, is that they are heard and they feel comfortable.
Yes.
And I'm always smiling with them. I'm always speaking softly to them. There's no aggression. There's
Yeah.
always that calmness and that peace.
Yes.
And a lot of them don't experience that. Yeah, so they do tend to test the boundaries,
it-
you know,
yes,
things that
yes,
you
yes.
walk over.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do tell them that I've lived life.
Yeah.
And if it was not for God, I would not have been here today.
Yeah.
So storytelling is also very important. And I think that's something that I grew up with my grandparents, the storytelling. And I know that today a lot of children don't have that, to have someone tell them stories.
Yeah.
Because I remember all the stories that my grandparents told me, and it's
Yes.
so vivid in my mind.
Yeah.
And those are the kind of seeds that is imprinted,
Yeah.
you know, that takes you back.
Yes. Wow.
So, yeah.
Sure. So, as jy sopas ingeskakel het, jy hoor die stem van Bronwyn Newman. Sy is die chairman van RAYL, nee, RAYL NPO. En ja, hulle deel met jong mense, selfs ouers, ja, groot mense, meestal jong mense, en hulle sê Rescue a Young Life NPO, RAYL. En wow, wat 'n voorreg om vanoggend saam met haar te gesels. Interessante storie, baie life-changing encounter wat sy gehad het. Nie net met wat met haar seun gebeur het, wat selfmoord gepleeg het nie, maar selfs wat sy daarna geervaar het en hoe sy vandag so menigte jong mense aan die hand vat en help deur hulle issues wat hulle mee deel. En ja, en dis baie keer dinge wat die ouers nie bewus is van nie, waar sy so instrumenteel is vanoggend mee, en ek so groot voorreg om saam met haar te gesels vanoggend. Bronwyn, you touched on the art and the music, and there's so many other things programs that you also
Yes,
that
no,
you also
absolutely.
do. Yeah, maybe
So-
you want to share on that?
I know that mental health is a big issue,
Yeah.
but it's not really seen as something that needs to be funded, I
Right.
should say.
Mhm.
So when I speak to the kids, I talk about brain health
Okay.
because we are focusing on the brain. So I explain to them about healthy eating, hygiene. I explain to them about the neurotransmitters, how the brain actually functions, and then I would have videos put together so they can actually see the serotonin and the dopamine,
Okay.
so they can
Wow.
identify
Yes.
the brain, because all they know is they have a body,
Yeah.
and especially for those that self-harm, I call it self-calm. I explain to them how the body works and the emotions that comes with it, and how it cannot be expressed, but how they can express it, what they can do, give them tools. And what actually happens in the brain, why they're feeling that way, is because their serotonin has dropped, so they don't have enough happy juice
Happy juice.
being
Yes, yes.
produced.
Mm.
So how can we get that happy juice being produced,
Okay. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I would encourage them to drink water, to go for a walk, just to
Yes.
clear their mind.
Yes.
And literacy is one of the big things that I'm working with now at the moment at Parkwood Primary, because they don't have a library.
Okay.
And I did a library day for them.
Mhm.
And they were overwhelmed. The kids
Wow.
were so in awe of books.
Wow.
And I think I did about 3 chapters with them, but I don't just read.
Yeah.
There has to be really excitement. I'm like, what did Sandra do? Oh my gosh, what do you think James is going to say now? And things like that. And they
Okay.
really want to know more. They're so, their minds are like sponges. They really want to
Yeah.
get
Just
that
take it all in.
information. Yes.
Wow.
That enthusiasm,
Yeah.
that energy that they have that's
Yeah.
been sheltered by just dark things around them.
Yeah.
And that is the excitement that I want them to experience, that poetry is so valuable, literacy is so important, and exercising the mind with that,
Yes, yes.
Education is such a big thing. And
Yes.
the first time that I got the classes, currently I'm working with 98 students in grade 7. The education is not seen as something valuable, as important.
Yeah.
And that broke my heart, and I was like, no, this has to change. And then I started speaking to them about their careers, about their goals, and if you are struggling with this,
Yeah.
did you know that when you finish grade 9, you can go to a vocational, there you can learn your trade, so I
Wow.
encourage
Yeah.
that kind of empowerment in their mind, that if they work hard enough to get to that point, they can do what they're passionate about.
Yes, yes,
Learning
yes.
a skill.
Learning a skill.
And
yeah.
they didn't know about that. They didn't know that they could do that at an FET
Yeah.
college, at a TVET college, and they weren't aware of certain things. And that is what I love. It's just opening their minds to what is available to them. That they don't just have to be conformed
Yes.
where they are.
Is that some of the highlights that you've experienced
Yes.
in the organization? And
Yeah.
is there some other that you want to just mention, or one extra?
Yes. So one of the things that I've found that was also kind of heartbreaking was when we did identity
Okay.
with the children
Yeah.
and team building.
Yeah.
Team building was more, there's so much anger amongst them
Mm-hmm.
that working together was at first difficult, but once they realized that they can actually win the task and get to the end of the goal,
Yes.
if they worked as a team,
Yes.
they were elated. I mean, they were
Wow.
screaming with joy and excitement.
Wow.
And with identity, what they struggled with was actually knowing who they are, what they liked, what they were good at. And I remember the one student said to me, because I had a basket of positive affirmations that each of them had to pick.
Okay.
And I said to them that this affirmation that you have chosen has been chosen for you. It's meant for you. And the one student said to me, the affirmation card that he had was, I'm a good person. And he read it and he said, but I'm bad. So I said, why do you think you're bad? Because I'm just bad. So I said, I don't think you're bad. I think you may be naughty, you know. So to change that mindset of how it's driven to
Yeah.
one statement.
Yeah.
And then I said,
Sure.
well, I've met you and I like you.
Yeah. I don't think you're bad.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like you. You know,
Wow.
and you've got such a beautiful handwriting. You know, so just to change that mindset and just to plant that seed.
Yeah.
Just
That
a
mustard
little
seed.
yes.
I love that.
So it can grow,
Wow.
so that they can remember, so that they know,
Yeah.
you know, that no matter how they feel at that moment, no matter what they've done that was not good,
Yeah.
they are born good. I remind them that they are born with goodness.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. They are definitely born with a lot of goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Inspirational stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. And Bronwyn, you're not alone. You've got a team, right? That's
Yes.
working hand in hand
Yes,
with you.
no,
Yeah.
do have
Yeah.
a team, and my husband,
Mm-hmm.
well, that's also another traumatic experience that we've gone through. He used to be the breadwinner
Mm-hmm.
of the family. That is why I could run my MPO being self-funded, because I worked as well, but my times were very flexible at my
Yeah.
job, and
Mm.
you know, I could be here and there
Yeah.
and everywhere. So during COVID, he thought he was having anxiety attacks, and he went to the doctor, and they said no, it's just gastro. And he still was feeling bad, and I was up with him every night because of his body was just reacting differently
Yeah.
to the medication that the doctor gave. And then we went to a different doctor, and they said no, he's got a chest infection. Um, Gave medication for that, and he still was not right. And it turned out that he was actually in heart failure. So he was in heart failure for about 3 months, and with the misdiagnosis, it actually really damaged his heart
Sure.
pretty bad. And the fact that we were in COVID lockdown, it was very, very stressful because of his symptoms that he had.
Yeah.
It was just, no, you need to go to COVID section. You need to
Yeah.
go to COVID. And he was like, but I did the COVID test. I think he had about 4 or 5 COVID tests to prove that he's negative. There was just no, you are not going to be allowed into this part of the hospital. You are going into the COVID tents, you know, and that was very scary. And I remember the day that he actually got sick, and he just leaned over. He was walking outside in the garden,
Yeah.
and he leaned over and he said, Bronwyn, it's okay. RAYL, daddy's coming home. And I was like, heck no, Lord, Lord,
No, Lord.
it's in your hands,
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
and it's not his time yet.
Terrifying to hear.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was truly, and I think that really shook me to the core. And we immediately rushed him to hospital, and he was in severe heart failure, and he was in hospital for I think 3 days, and then we had an appointment for Grooteskier. We had to have an ablation done. So he was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, and he also has angina heart on the last 2 chambers, 3 and 4, and has AFib on the front. So it's irreparable. It's just managed with like really hardcore medication.
Medication. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that also, I said to God, you know, I'm not happy with this medication, this one, especially warfarin
Yeah.
and everything else. But I said to him, I have to trust your guidance in this,
Yes. Yes.
because everything that I do, I research on it. And I think that is also where I love that God made information available.
Yes.
People that had the minds to actually deliver information and have it available. So everything, even with my depression, I researched. I wanted to know where it came from, how
Yeah.
it started,
Yeah.
what caused an individual that's happy 1 minute and then not happy 1 minute, you know. So I did a lot of research
Yeah.
and I did a lot of self-training on CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy,
Sure.
because I wanted to know more, wanted to learn more.
In order to help other people
Yes,
more, yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
and to
And not
educate
just your family.
myself.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, so that I can be educated, so that I can give positive and affirmative information. Um, so with my husband's whole journey, that was also really difficult for me to acknowledge. But the difference now is that I had God's guidance, I had His
Yes.
support,
His
and
wisdom, insight.
yes, and I had His love.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so all I could do as a wife is to follow the scriptures
Yeah.
and take care of my husband.
Wow.
You know, and
Is he
he's still
key
here
in the
today.
key in the organization as well? Yeah,
Yes,
he's just supporting
yes,
in that sort of thing.
he is,
Yeah.
and he can't do much,
Yeah.
but he does love being around the children as well.
Wow.
So he does give his insight,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and I love that he's able to feel purposeful as well as a
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because depression has hit him hard as well, because he felt very useless
Yeah.
at the point. And I just say to him all the time that God has blessed you. You are here for a purpose. You might not be working as hard, you might not
Yeah.
be bringing in a salary, but that is not life.
Yeah.
You know, God is life.
It's beautiful.
And
Wow.
I just keep that encouragement in his heart,
Yeah.
because it's difficult for a man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Of
difficult for
of
a
a
man.
household. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
to
Yes.
be the breadwinner. And I think we really got so much closer.
Oh, through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And after I got retrenched last year, we were really like, all right, Lord, what are you bringing across
Yes.
to us now? You know, this is really something different now.
Yeah.
We were coping, we were managing, and then again I had that intervention,
Wow.
and God said, I can't have you give 10% of
Yeah.
what your purpose is,
Sure.
and 90% of your work to earn the salary.
Yeah.
You know, to not give your all.
Yes.
It's not what is. Oh, I want you to give your all. I don't want you to just give part of you, because this is your purpose in life.
Sure.
You know, your son did not die in vain.
Mm.
My child did not come back home to me in vain.
In vain. Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How do we contact you? Any parents with
Yes,
youngsters
no,
or young people
absolutely.
that want to get involved, or volunteers that want to get involved? Yeah. Is there contact
100%.
details? Yeah.
So, what I'm currently doing at Parker Primary is the library.
Is
So
that where you're based? Or where are you based?
I'm actually have my office where I'm living.
Okay.
So the
At
house
your
that
residence?
the house that we're currently renting through a church, we have the office there. So that
Okay.
is where all our printing gets done, where our stock is kept, because we're a lot
Okay.
about recycling.
Yes.
So we're always using recycled material
Yes,
with the
yes.
kids.
Yes.
And we keep all that stock and everything there. And
Okay.
I've decided that after COVID,
Yeah.
after NPO hit a real knock,
Yeah.
I said that I can't just be here for 2 minutes
Yes.
at one place and then they only see me in another 6 months' time,
Yeah.
you know, and I visit here and visit
Yes,
there.
yes, yes.
So I've dedicated myself to Parkwood Primary, basically
Okay.
adopted the school for 12 months.
Oh wow, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is what I feel the children need.
Okay.
And yeah, so
Fantastic.
that is what we're currently working with
Okay.
at the moment.
So you can share that contact details with us?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
Yes.
So they're more than welcome to see our social handles.
Mm-hmm.
We are on Facebook, Rescue Young Life. We also have a website, www.rescueayounglife.org.za. My contact number is, you're more than welcome to contact me, WhatsApp me. It is 082 071 4295. Please know that all the work that we do is volunteer. And we do rely on donations. Unfortunately, I know it's not easy for everyone to give, but we do rely on donations. We're currently not funded by any funding institutions.
Okay.
And yes, so yes, we rely on God's word. We rely on His hand in keeping us going. Yeah,
Fantastic.
absolutely.
Bronwyn, wow, what an inspirational story, and wow, that's so uplifting. And thank you for spending your time with me this morning.
It was a pleasure.
Thank
It
you.
was.
Have an amazing weekend.
Oh, you too.
Fantastic. Die wil gou, sy sing vir ons goeie nuus en net daarna dan gaan ons kyk na 'n lekker resepie vir jou op hierdie Saterdagoggend.